Hey, what's up, peeps? Your boy PC Williams coming to y'all live on a great Monday. Hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day weekend. Hope y'all enjoyed their Monday. Like I said, man, it's 1K Sports, uncut, unbiased, unfiltered, unapologetic. Sorry I'm late, y'all. My phone was dead. Had to charge up for a little bit, but here I am, y'all. Well, as you all know, All-Star Weekend came and went. Another high scoring, glorified. I call it All-Star game a glorified pickup game at this point, man. Team LeBron, led by LeBron James, took out Team Giannis, led by the Greek Freak, 178-164. Yeah, no defense, right? Kevin Durant led the way for the Team LeBron with 31 points. Klay Thompson had 20. LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard had 19 apiece. Giannis could have been an MVP easily, had 38 points, really balled out, man, had some great highlight dunks out there. Paul George had 20 points. Chris Middleton had 20 points, man. So, what's up, my man, Tariq McClendon, the owner and founder of Uncle Smokehouse Barbecue, man. If y'all ain't tried it, man, y'all missing out, man. So, what's going on, bit dog? But All-Star game was a high scoring affair as always. No defense was played. Kevin Durant did win the All-Star game MVP, which puts him in elite company. Kevin Durant actually joins LeBron, Kobe, MJ, and Shaq as guys with multiple All-Star game MVPs and multiple Finals MVPs. So pretty good, company to be in there right there. So my overall view of All-Star Weekend, I still think, it's up there, with Super Bowl weekend, the festivities, all the celebrities coming out, all the stars aligned playing in playing the game, the dunk contest and all that, man. So, I mean, people have their low points, have their opinions about it. There were a few folks that didn't like the dunk contest. It could have been better. I don't think it's a down, it's on the downslide. Just 2 years ago, Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon gave us a classic shootout, a classic dunk-off matchup, so I'm not too pressed about that. Overall, the three-point shootout, to me, is the best event because you can have a little-known guy, I think the guy name was Joe Smith, can take out a guy like Steph Curry. So, to me, the three-point shootout, to me, right now, is the best event because we are in the era now where it's a lot more shooting going on, a lot more guys shooting threes, so the three-point shootout to me is the best event because there is no way we can be let down. Guys go out there and shoot for the fences. As far as the dunk contest, man, I get it. From a creative standpoint, it's hard to kind of keep coming up with different things to do, and a lot of times guys go way back in time with the Vince Carter jerseys and Larry Johnson jerseys and all that stuff like that. But to me, it's up and down. Just 2 years ago, we probably had our best dunk contest with Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, and this year was kind of down. We'll see as it goes on. Overall view of All-Star Weekend, I think it's good for the league. It creates more exposure for guys, who are all-stars who probably play in low budget markets. You had D'Angelo Russell out there for the Brooklyn Nets. You had guys out there from the Orlando Magic, guys you probably don't really hear about. And because of All-Star Weekend, you hear about these guys a lot more than you normally would. But All-Star Game weekend pretty much sums up that NBA is pretty much on the home stretch run. Usually you would think that the All-Star Weekend would come, halfway through the season. But, right now there's about 20-something games left. My overall preview of the second half, we got different storylines. The Lakers, as of right now, the Lakers are not in the playoffs. So if the season ended right now, the Lakers with LeBron James would not be, in the playoffs. So clearly, to me, the biggest story of the second half is, will LeBron James miss the playoffs? My man Eddie B from Jacksonville, what's going on, big boy? And this is actually a pretty interesting thing. LeBron comes, joins the Lakers. They got a young squad. He gets hurt. LeBron, his first 2 years in the league, he missed the playoffs. Ever since then, it's been, at worst, the conference semifinals. So it'll be interesting. I feel like they will make the playoffs because LeBron James has just simply earned that level of faith, that level of trust that, he will get it done. Now, me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing the Sacramento Kings, get that A spot with De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. I feel like that, Buddy Hield, and they just got Harrison Barnes, so they got a pretty good little young squad going on there. So I would love to see that young squad get in the playoffs and see, how they could maybe challenge Golden State, to a certain extent. So, of course, the Pelicans and AD. Me personally, I just feel like the Pelicans have to just cut their losses, man. Look, I understand AD's a great player. He's a phenomenal player. But you have to understand, and you have to respect this point of it. At least AD came to you and said, look, I'm unhappy. I want to leave. He gave you a heads up. LeBron James, on 2 occasions, walked out of Cleveland, walked out of Miami with not one heads up, and you was left right there with nothing to rebuild on. So learn your lesson. Look, Pelicans, he don't want to be around you. He don't want to play for you. Face it. Me personally, I personally respect how they did not just trade him to the Lakers right away because you want to get the best deal possible. You look at Boston, they're very deep. They're about 10 deep. More attractive pieces. You can get more in return. They get AD. Everyone's happy. You got different teams that can throw out different things. So my overall view of it is that the Pelicans should just go ahead and cut their loss and just say, you know what? We tried. He doesn't want to be here. Let's get on this phone. Let's swallow our pride. Let's make some phone calls. Get a best deal for him, because you don't replace a guy like AD with one guy. So you trade AD to a team that has pieces. You trade AD to a team that can give you something back in return. When you lose a guy like AD, you don't say, okay, I trade you AD for Al Horford. No. If you want AD, I want draft picks. I want your top 3 best players. I want your bench players. I want your draft picks. I want all that. So if you're the Pelicans, go ahead, rebuild. You have a piece right there in Julius Randle. You got Drew Holiday. Imagine if you add Alonzo Ball, Ingram, Kuzma, Zubac from the Lakers, or if you add Tatum, Brown, Rozier, and Al Horford from the Celtics. So imagine that. So losing AD will be a big blow, but I would trade AD this offseason to the best offer and just call it a wrap, man, and learn from it. It worked out great for the Pacers. Paul George said, hey, look, I want out. Okay, cool. OKC, we got Paul George for you. Give us Oladipo and Sabonis, and we good. Bam, playoff team. Kawhi Leonard, okay, Spurs, I want out. Okay, you want out, cool. Toronto, we got Kawhi and Danny Green. Give us DeRozan and a draft pick. Done deal. Playoff team. So learn from it. Hey, it's not the end of the world when you lose your star. They lost Paul George and they lost Kawhi Leonard, and there's still 2 playoff teams. So it's not the end of the world. But I think there is a challenge in the West for the Warriors. And, right now the Warriors, they can't be beat right now. Until someone actually beats them, I don't think no one can beat them. But if there is a challenge, in the Western Conference, I would say the OKC Thunder. And the reason why I say that is because love conquers all. I think Paul George, when he decided to stay with OKC and sign the contract to stick around in OKC, I feel like that not only changed Russell Westbrook, it changed that franchise because it showed loyalty. And I feel like for so long, Russell Westbrook has been called a bad teammate, hard to play with. Now, you have a guy in Paul George who gets traded to OKC, not his first choice. He wanted to go home. He said, look, trade me to LA. I want to go home. He goes to OKC. Him and Westbrook hit it off, and all of a sudden, Paul George saying, well, you know what? I'm staying right here. And now all of a sudden, Dennis Schroeder having a year of his life. Steven Adams balling out. Paul George, MVP candidate. And think about this. OKC is a 3rd seed, and Westbrook is having a down year by his standards. Now, he's still doing his thing with the triple dubs and all that, but we'll see how it plays out. But right now, that's a very dangerous team. I feel like they don't have enough firepower to match the Warriors offensively. But, the Warriors are a team that if you get up in their grill, get physical with them, you can push them a little bit, and you can kind of scare them a little bit. Because the Warriors, as talented as they are, they can be fragile, they can be breakable, they can be broken if you hit the right spots. And OKC has the kind of squad that can get in there under their skin. Westbrook will love nothing more than to take out Steph Curry on TV in front of everybody. Paul George, imagine that. Shutting down KD and averaging 30 in that series, man, that boy be a legend forever. So think about that. The challenge itself will motivate the Warriors, will motivate the OKC Thunder to go and take them out. So I think in the East, the biggest challenge will be Boston because of their depth. But in the West, I think Houston's a little burned out right now by James Harden's hot streak. I think Utah is just still a little too young. Not really sold on Denver. LA got to, get in the playoffs first. So right now, as a shape right now in the Western Conference, I have OKC as the Warriors' biggest troublemaker right now. But on to the Celtics. This is a very troubled, very talented team. And the crazy part is the Celtics' biggest issue is their own self. They're in their own way. I understand Kyrie coming back, got guys feeling some kind of way and all that stuff like that. Guys' minutes are down. Gordon Hayward come back from an injury. Now he's kind of clogging up minutes too. But me personally, I feel like this team, if they get out their own way, if they just simply just put their egos to the side and just go out there and play ball, they can cause the Golden State Warriors some serious problems. They're very deep. They play great defense. They're well coached. They have a big man that can challenge Boogie. They can challenge KD. Kyrie owns Steph Curry. I just flat out say it. Head to head in the finals and back-to-back years, Kyrie outplayed Steph Curry. So I think Kyrie goes to that series saying, hey, look, Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, I own both of y'all. So whichever one of y'all want to get this work, come get it. So you have a guy that has beaten Golden State before, and you have a young, hungry, talented team. So you combine that with their depth, with their coaching. I feel like Steve Kerr is riding the wave. I feel like he has been out-coached by worse coaches. I saw Ty Lue out-coach him a couple years ago. I think Brad Stevens will definitely out-coach him. I think Kyrie will outplay Steph Curry. It could be a serious issue. But their biggest issue is themselves. They got to get out their own way. I don't understand. You get to a Game 7 against LeBron James in the conference finals without Kyrie. You get Kyrie back. That should not be an issue. That should be a great thing. That should be the missing piece you need. If you had Kyrie last year, you win Game 7. I feel very confident in saying that if they had Kyrie last year in Game 7, they're going to the finals against the Warriors. And this year, LeBron's gone. If LeBron does get in the playoffs, he'll probably go in one of the first 2 rounds. And then there it is. So, like I said, OKC in the West, it's the Warriors' biggest challenge getting back to the finals. But overall, the best team I think can take them out right now is the Celtics. And the Warriors, that's a big storyline too. You got KD, gonna be a free agent. Klay Thompson, gonna be a free agent. You got Boogie, gonna be a free agent. So you got Steph Curry locked in for a long time. You got Draymond signed for about 2 more years, a year or two after this year goes by. So you have to re-sign someone. You can't let KD and Klay and Boogie all walk away. So if you're the Warriors, you need to start making your choices right now. You have to start understanding that, hey, this is all over with and we do our thing, win a championship, whatever, KD just might leave. The first priority is re-sign Klay Thompson. And then if Klay Thompson resigns, then you go to Kevin Durant and say, look, Kevin Durant, do you want to stick it out with us for a couple more years, or do you want to go? Just man to man. If he walks away, you re-sign Boogie. If Kevin Durant says, you know what, I love it here, I love playing ball here, then guess what? You re-sign Kevin Durant. If Boogie says, hey, I like it here, whatever. But if it comes down to Boogie and Durant, I want Durant because it's already been established. They have a chemistry already set. You don't know what they'll be if it's just a Splash Brothers and DeMarcus Cousins. With Kevin Durant, he covers up so many like bad shooting nights for Curry and Thompson with his skill set. So if I'm the Warriors, it's a tough choice. But if I got to choose between Kevin Durant and Boogie, I take Kevin Durant. Plain and simple. But the priority is to re-sign Klay Thompson. He's been there since day one. He's a loyal guy. You know, low maintenance, doesn't cause issues. A team player, a guy, you have to reward that kind of loyalty, man. You reward his loyalty, resign Klay Thompson. Then you go to KD. If he's out, peace out, sign Boogie. If KD wants to come back, re-sign KD. Real simple. James Harden. He actually admitted this past weekend that he's very tired of how he's been playing hero ball, not really, you know, not a system going on. Yeah, as you all know, Chris Paul has been out, so that has kind of made James Harden be, you know, all in with where he's at with the game right now. So, but I think you get Chris Paul back, James Harden kind of tones down a little bit. Chris Paul sells everything down. I think they'll be good. I think last year was probably the biggest chance CP3 had to get a championship. I think that was kind of close last year. I don't see Houston getting back to the finals again or back to the conference finals. If they do, they'll lose to Golden State, but I don't see anyone outside of Golden State beating OKC. So I have Golden State and OKC in the conference semifinals. So I think with the Rockets, even with CP3 being healthy, I don't see them getting too far, man. All right. Well, football season is over, but the drama never stops. As you all know, Antonio Brown continues to voice his displeasure for playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Understandably so. But if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, here's what I do. Plain and simple. I love AB. He's the best in the game, or number 2 behind Julio, wherever you got me. I got it. AB and Julio, the top 2 in the game. Antonio Brown has to go. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you pretty much ran Le'Veon Bell off because he wanted the money he deserves. Well, here's Antonio Brown. You gave him the money he wanted. You gave him the money, and he showed his ass right to you. So if you're Pittsburgh and you made an example out of Le'Veon Bell because he wanted money, you have to cut AB. You cannot bring AB back in that locker room, because if you do, you lose the locker room. Because guys like Marquise Pouncey, guys like, James Conner, guys like Julius Smith-Schuster, guys that are going to be there for the future are seeing that. And Juju is a very talented young receiver. He's seeing how AB is punking y'all and doing whatever he want to do. He sees that. So he's going to see. If they bring him back, then eventually when he retires, I can step in and be that same idiot. Or they cut AB and show you that you are replaceable. And maybe it'll change Juju's mindset going forward. But me personally, I understand AB is great. Since 2010, he has been the best receiver in football, not named Julio Jones or whatever. Like I said, it's AB and Julio, the top 2 in the league. But since 2010, Antonio Brown has 837 receptions, 11,207 yards, and 73 touchdowns. That's a Hall of Fame art, man. This guy, the way he's playing right now, the way he's been playing the last decade, he will be in Canton someday. I think he's got about 5 more years left in him at this level. So if you're Pittsburgh, his stock is high right now. Now, I understand the off-the-field issues with the mother of his kids and stuff like that, just the lifestyle he lives. I understand that's a red flag. So you may not get a first round for him, or maybe you will. But if you're the Steelers, you have to swallow your pride and swallow your love for AB, because the thing is, with Pittsburgh, you're sending the wrong message. You're saying that, okay, we're going to push Le'Veon to the side because he's selfish and wanted more money. Yet, AB got his money, and he's being 10 times worse than Le'Veon. Le'Veon just wanted his money that he deserves. AB got his money that he deserves, and he's not repaying you with loyalty. Plain and simple. So if you're Pittsburgh, hey, it's a big loss. Maybe we shouldn't have signed AB. Maybe had you signed Le'Veon to a long-term deal, maybe it'd be a little different. And you already would have AB's replacement already on your roster. But instead, you alienate Le'Veon, now he's gone. AB has simply just showed y'all his rear end. So guess what? He has to be gone. If you bring AB in this locker room, you will lose it. You will lose it, plain and simple. But a message has to be sent. And I understand AB's frustration with Big Ben, who I'll get to in just a second. I understand you feel like Big Ben finger points and all that stuff like that. I understand you feel like Big Ben, gets special treatment. So AB, I understand. We all get it. You feel like Big Ben gets special treatment and all stuff like that. And that's fine, he does. But you have to play your game and understand the quarterback will always take precedent over you. And yes, Big Ben, to me, is their biggest problem. He's a bad leader. He's a horrible leader. He finger points, blame deflects, doesn't hold himself accountable. And you have quarterbacks like that, like Aaron Rodgers. Guys that will point the finger everywhere else except themselves. So AB has to deal with that and go on with his life. But the Pittsburgh Steelers' biggest issue is Big Ben. Because L. Bell's gone, AB's all but gone. So what's going to happen when Big Ben started beefing with James Conner and Juju? Then what? Well, as you know, the biggest story of the weekend was Scottie Pippen coming out saying that, coming out with a double standard, because first of all, Pippen's a Hall of Famer, one of the top 50 greatest of all time, to be respected. One of probably the greatest two-way player we ever seen. But in this particular case, Scottie Pippen is a hypocrite. He comes out and says LeBron's better than Jordan. Then he comes out and says LeBron is not even better than MJ or Kobe. Fine. Just stick to one spot of it. Because I feel like, here's the thing. This MJ, Kobe, and LeBron debate has gotten so out of hand that it seems like we've all dug in and made our point. And that's fine. But we've all dug in for our guy. You have a guy like Pippen that's going back and forth. Oh, I don't want to upset MJ. I don't want to upset this guy, whatever. Here's where I am with this debate once and for all. I feel like all three, MJ, Kobe, and LeBron, all have the right to say, hey, I feel like I'm the GOAT because of these reasons. MJ, changed the game, dominance, 6 for 6 in the finals, unblemished. Kobe, the toughest road travel, had to play with prime Shaq, had to win championships without Shaq, had injuries, was drafted late, was traded, all this other stuff. He overcame adversity and still accomplished what Jordan accomplished, just about. LeBron, more talented than Jordan and Kobe, more, gifted physically, the longevity of it. He's been around doing it for a longer period of time than Kobe and Jordan, understandably so. So all three have a case in their own right, in their own kind of way. But the thing that upsets me is this. Why does the GOAT conversation only deal with LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan? So if I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and you come ask me who is the GOAT, LeBron, Kobe, or Jordan, I'm going to look at you and say, well, what about me? I won 3 NCAA championships. I won 6 NBA finals. I won 6 MVPs. I've made more all-star teams than anyone. What about me? Or what if I was, Tim Duncan? And they told Tim Duncan, who's the GOAT? Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan? What about me? I got 5 championships. I got 3 Finals MVPs. I got 2 league MVPs. I play with David Robinson too. What about me? Magic Johnson. I got 5 championships. I got me a statue. I was all-time assist leader. I have 3 league MVPs. I have 3 finals MVPs. What about me? Isaiah Thomas. I'm even crying out loud. Of course, MJ, Kobe, or Jordan. What about me? I got 2. I got a championship. I got 2 championships. I'm an all-star, all-NBA guy. What about Kevin McHale? Before Tim Duncan, they said Kevin McHale was the greatest power forward ever. So if that's the case, shouldn't I be in the GOAT conversation if I was at one point considered the greatest ever at my position? So the thing is, as fans, we completely forget about everyone else. We just make it Kobe, LeBron, Jordan. LeBron and Jordan. Kobe and LeBron. Kobe and Jordan. And we completely forget about other guys. Bill Russell, Kareem, Hakeem Olajuwon, Larry Bird, Dr. J, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. All these great players that we just gloss over because we only focus on MJ and LeBron, and every so often we'll throw in Kobe. What about Duncan, McHale, Bird, all these guys that were great too? It's not just Kobe, LeBron, and MJ. Hell, Kareem has more MVPs than LeBron and Jordan. I don't think they're going to catch him. They're not going to catch 6 MVPs. LeBron has 4. I feel very comfortable in saying at best he'll probably get 1 more. That's it. Kareem got 6 championships just like Jordan. So it's a double standard because what the thing we do as fans, we adjust the criteria to fit our feelings. We say, okay, LeBron's the GOAT. Why? Because he got all these numbers and all these records and all that. Okay, if that's the criteria, wouldn't Peyton Manning be the GOAT in football? If that's the criteria, or you say MJ is the GOAT because he went 6 for 6 in the finals. Well, wouldn't that make Joe Montana the GOAT in football? Because he was 4 for 4 in championships and Super Bowl and didn't throw not 1 pick. Or you say Kobe's the GOAT because he was with the Lakers for all his career. He had 1 franchise. He won championships. He had a crew around him. He had this guy. Well, guess what? I would compare Kobe to Tom Brady because Kobe's been with that 1 franchise. He's had different pieces around. He won championships with these guys, and he won championship with these guys. Just like Tom Brady. So what's the criteria, guys? Is it rings? Is it era? Is it stats? What is it? Either way, there's more than just Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan that can say I'm the GOAT. It can't just be those 3. That's my only point. And as a Kobe fan, my only issue, because see, a lot of people get it confused, but because I'm a big Kobe fan, so guys always assume that I'm calling Kobe the GOAT. I never said he was the GOAT. I'm just saying he deserves more respect than what he's been given for what he's accomplished. Plain and simple. Well, y'all, I ain't gonna take much more of y'all time. I know it's a real short show today, but I really wanted to go ahead and run through these topics and get y'all thoughts about 1K. As you all know, I've been doing my podcast for a few months now, but I have decided with my good friend Manny to go ahead and expand it to a new thing. And I will be doing live face-to-face interviews, whether it be on the computer, on the phone device, or just face-to-face interviews. But I will be in contact with a lot of my followers, a lot of my, supporters. I'll be in contact with you about face-to-face interviews and things like that. And on February 28th, I will be doing a live podcast, live at the barbershop on the east side of Jacksonville. Now, I will not tell you the name of the barbershop. I'm just saying, be on the lookout. February 28th, I will be doing a live podcast from a barbershop on the east side of Jacksonville. I will tell y'all the name next week. But set your calendars. Live podcast, barbershop, sports talk is going down, y'all. But anyways, like I said, it's your boy PC Williams. It's 1K Sports. Thank y'all for tuning in today, man. Enjoy y'all week. Peace out.